Midseason Awards, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved, Coach of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, and MVP. Who's my pick so far? Stay tuned and find out. Welcome back to a special video. This is going to be our mid-season NBA awards. I'm not going to get deep with stats and nothing like that. I'll save that for the final award ceremony. But the categories we're going to have will be Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved Player, and Coach of the Year. We're going to have fun with it. Y'all tell me what y'all think so far. Obviously, these aren't the final recipients. These are just my opinions based off of where we are in the season. We still got about 20 games left, so it could change. But yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so the first category we're going to start with is Most Improved Player. The finalists for that one, for me, would be John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks, Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors, De'Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings, and Justice Winslow from the Miami Heat. It's kind of tough. Siakam is having a really, really good season. I think he's definitely one of the contenders. De'Aaron Fox is having a pretty good second year. Justice Winslow's playing well. John Collins has been balling. Out of that group, that's tough. I think for me, it would come down to Collins or Siakam. What? And I'm leaning towards Pascal Siakam. And John Collins is playing very, very well. And like I said, this could change toward the end of the season, but I'm going with Pascal Siakam. I like his energy. I like what he brings to the Raptors. Next category we will go with is Sixth Man of the Year. Finalist for that one will be Lou Williams from the Clippers. Surprise. Bruh. Spencer Dinwiddie from the Brooklyn Nets. I don't even know how to say his first name. Domantas Sabonis from the Indiana Pacers. And Derrick Rose. For this one, another good group of contenders. Spencer Dinwiddie's obviously playing very well for the Brooklyn Nets. They're in the playoffs as we speak right now. But I think his injury could hurt him a little bit, missing the amount of games he has. Derrick Rose has played well for the Timberwolves. He's also started some games. Lou Williams, obviously, every year he's a candidate for this award every single year. Playing well for the Clippers, who are also in the playoffs right now. Same thing with the Pacers and Sabonis. I'm going to go with Derrick Rose on this one. Nothing against the other guys. Like I said, they're all deserving. I think Sabonis has played a huge part with the Pacers. Same thing with Dinwiddie and Lou Will, but I don't think they're going to give it to Lou Williams again if there's another deserving candidate. So I think sentimentally they're probably going to go with Rose, but I think he does deserve it. I thought he got snubbed in the All-Star game. Really? But I think Derrick Rose, I think he will. I think he will be my pick for Sixth Man of the Year so far. Moving on to Coach of the Year. The finalists will be Mike Malone from Denver, Doc Rivers from the Clippers, Mike Budenholtzer from the Milwaukee Bucks, Nick Nurse from the Toronto Raptors, Dave Yeager from the Sacramento Kings. They're all deserving. Mike Malone has Denver in I believe the 2 spot as we speak. They've got a legit shot to come out of the West. I know everybody's picking the Warriors. But, yeah, Denver, I think they can play with anybody. You got to give him credit. Obviously, Doc Rivers has a case with the Clippers. Nobody expected them to do this well once they traded, Blake Griffin. So I think you got to give Doc a lot of credit for getting these young guys and, some veterans to buy in and to go out there and play hard every night. Dave Yeager for the Kings, obviously, he's done a phenomenal job. They're also in the playoffs. They got young talent, but it's hard getting young talent to play together, early on in their careers. So he's doing a fine job there with the Kings. Nick Nurse, obviously, he's done a phenomenal job. Now, it does help that he has Kawhi Leonard, but the team, besides that, they're pretty much the same team. They're still playing hard on defense, and I think they're going to be judged by what they do in the postseason. Mike Budenholzer with the Bucks, got to give him a lot of credit. He's had success in Atlanta, took them to the Eastern Conference Finals. I believe he's going to do the same thing with the Bucks this year. More talent, obviously, than he had with the Hawks, but they all got a case. For me, it just comes down to one thing. Who do I believe is the best out of that group with the talent that they have? And for me, it's got to be Mike Budenholzer. I think what he's doing with the Bucks, to come from where they were last year, I want to say they were the 7th seed. Now they're the number 1 in the league, not just the East. They have the best record in the NBA. They're beating all the top teams. Now they got to prove it in the postseason, obviously. But for me, it's the Bucks. It's Coach Budenholzer. Mike Budenholzer would be my pick for Coach of the Year right now. Defensive Player of the Year. Finalists will be Paul George from the Thunder, Joel Embiid from the 76ers, Draymond Green from the Golden State Warriors, and Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz. All right, for this one here, I think Draymond is probably going to be left out because, he missed some games. Rudy Gobert, it's hard to go back-to-back. I think he's playing at the same level he did last year. Joel Embiid, I think the voters love the kids. But Paul George, been doing it on both ends of the floor all year. Lockdown defender. For me, I think this is, it comes down to Paul George and Joel Embiid. For me, my pick is Paul George. I think he's the best defender in the league. I know Kawhi Leonard, people probably saying, why isn't he on the list? He's a candidate. I don't think Kawhi has been as good defensively as he has in some of the previous years. Really? So for me, I don't think he was one of the finalists this year. Also, I think missing so many games, I think it's hard to put him in any of these categories. But Defensive Player of the Year, my pick, Paul George from the OKC Thunder. Rookie of the Year. The finalists will be Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks, Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks, Marvin Bagley III from the Sacramento Kings, Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Memphis Grizzlies, and Kevin Knox from the New York Knicks. While Kevin Knox, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Marvin Bagley are having really good seasons, I think this is a two-man race between Trae Young and Luka Doncic. Luka was running away early, I thought. I thought Trae Young just continued staying consistent throughout the year, and now probably the past 2 weeks, he's turning it up. Like turning it up major. And I think voters can't ignore it. Like you can't ignore it. I mean, the guy's going 30, 49 with 10 plus assists every night. You can't ignore everybody's attention now. I know they're going to probably take into consideration the Mavericks winning as opposed to the Hawks, but it's Rookie of the Year. Most of these rookies aren't playing on winning teams. So with that being said, my pick for Rookie of the Year is Trae Young. I think he's going to continue at this pace throughout the season, and the voters are going to have a hard time not taking him. Now, with that being said, I think they're going to take Luka no matter what Trae does. Moving on to the MVP. A lot of contenders. Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets, Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers, Stephen Curry from the Golden State Warriors, LeBron James from the LA Lakers, James Harden of the Houston Rockets, Paul George of the OKC Thunder, and Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. I think we also have to throw Kawhi Leonard of the Toronto Raptors in there as well. Kawhi was obviously an early season candidate for MVP. I think the missing the games will hurt him. I think it will also hurt Joel Embiid. So I don't think either one of those guys will be the MVP this year. LeBron will really have to go playoff mode for the final 20 games, get the Lakers into the postseason. I still don't think that's enough for him to win it. Steph Curry is having a phenomenal year. I just think with all the talent they have, all the all-stars in the lineup, Clay, Cousins, Durant, I think him and Durant are kind of canceling each other out because neither one is really dominating the team. They're playing team basketball, which has been successful for them. No fault there, but I think it hurts them when it comes to individual awards. So I don't think Curry will be MVP this year. Nikola Jokic is having a phenomenal season for the Denver Nuggets. They have the 2 seed in the West, but I think it's going to be hard pressed to beat out a Giannis Antetokounmpo or a Paul George. It's hard for guys that aren't, big name players. Jokic, people are knowing his name now, but I'm going to have a hard time believing he's beating out Harden, Paul George, and Giannis, because to me, those are the 3 contenders in this award. The winners coming out of those 3, in my opinion. James Harden, I think he has a legit case. He won it last year. I think probably the reason he won't win it this year because I think it's coming out of Paul George and Giannis Antetokounmpo, in my opinion. I think Giannis is the front runner here because of the way the Bucks are playing. You have to give the coach credit for putting these guys in position to play this way. You also have to give Giannis credit for buying in. If they finish the season with the best record, Giannis is the MVP. So who's my pick? You will know his name. The Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He will be my pick right now. Probably going to be my pick at the end of the season. But we shall see. But just to recap, Midseason Award winners would be Mike Budenholtzer for the Bucks as Coach of the Year, Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors as Most Improved Player, Derrick Rose from the Minnesota Timberwolves as my 6th Man of the Year, Paul George, OKC Thunder as my Defensive Player of the Year, Trae Young, Atlanta Hawks as my Rookie of the Year, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, Milwaukee Bucks as my MVP. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't worry, when we do the final awards, we're going to have all the bells and whistles. We'll have fun with it, but thank y'all for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.